Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I am going to let a few hundred of y'all come in, and then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Dimitri, what's up? What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? What's up, Kim? We are simulcasting with Facebook. As I said on YouTube, I got to put this message out there because some of y'all may have missed it yesterday. So about half of you guys that are subscribed are not getting your notifications because you do not have the YouTube app downloaded on your mobile device. You have to have the YouTube app downloaded on your mobile device to get your alerts. This is according to my YouTube manager. She said that you guys have to download the YouTube app and then select that little bell that says all notifications. That says notifications. And then once that opens up, you select all notifications. Otherwise, you may not get any notifications from me. So you have to select all notifications. And all notifications means that you'll get all your notifications coming from me, not anybody else. Unless you go out of the app or go into another channel and then you do the same thing. But you click on notifications. Once you download the YouTube app, you click on notifications and then you click on all notifications. And that's how you get your notifications each time I go live. Moving on. Marcus Jackson, what's up? Ahmad Rama, what's that? Rama, what's up? Sweet P Hayes, what it do? H-Town Tony, turn that cap lock off for me, player. Buff suck. He said YouTube app sucks. I don't know, man. I ain't never had no problem with the app. I've never had a problem with the YouTube app. Chris Williams. What's up? What's up, Tanya Moss? Mary Davis. Crystal McQueen. What's up, Crystal McQueen? Tulsa. What it do? Tim Harris, D.E. Roberts. Okay, let's get into it, fam. Let's get into it. Let me put a pickup of Deion. That's Deion at the press conference for his announcing to the world that he has bladder cancer. So Deion and his medical team just revealed that he had been dealing with bladder cancer, though thankfully, they said it's been cured. Remember Deion, you know, how kind of distant he was during the whole draft thing, you know, and how quiet he was? That's because he was going through it. According to him, he had an upcoming surgery that he kept from his sons because he did not want them to be focused on him. He wanted them to be focused on their big night. So he didn't mention to them that he was going in to be treated for bladder cancer. He did say that his daughter, at least one of his daughters, knew. I don't know how many he had, but he did mention that his daughter knew. And he said that, it's a difficult thing because his whole life has been basically turned upside down. Life as he know it is no longer. I was surprised at how transparent he was. He was talking about how he has to wear Depends. Yeah, how he, urinates in the bed now. He has to have a nurse to come clean it up and stuff. I was like, damn, I wouldn't have told that. I wouldn't have said all that. You would have had to guess with me because I'm just not giving people that kind of information because, a lot of people, they so disrespectful, they're going to take it and turn it on you. So they already got the gun. I ain't giving them the ammunition. So Deion is currently speaking with reporters right now about the issue. The Colorado coach talked with reporters in Boulder on Monday morning, and he, alongside Dr. Janet, it looks like Karaja, and trainer Lauren Askevold went into detail about what's keeping him away from the Buffaloes the last few months. They said that following routine testings earlier this year, a scan showed he had a tumor on his bladder. It was subsequently surgically removed, and according to the docs, the operation rid Deion of the disease. She said, I am pleased to report the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer. She said, he is cured from the cancer. I ain't got no problem with that. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders. Man, I like Deion. I like Deion. I like Deion fighting spirit. Deion got a fighting spirit. What I mean by that is he takes care of his business. He's a family man. He loves on his kids. He extends that love to the community. He knows what he's up against, and using his likeness and image, he wakes up every day trying to motivate people. Motivating, not trying, but motivating people. And he don't start no trouble. But if you run up on him, he gonna give you everything you're looking for. He was like that on the football field. Deion was never a troublemaker. But if trouble came to him, he made sure that he checked it tenfold. So I like that. I like that about Deion. Always positive. Even when he's under constant assault, always positive. And there's certain people out there who attacks Deion every chance they get. Like this guy, Jason Whitlock. This guy right here. He is always on Deion. He always got something negative to say about Deion. Look at him. This dude is always speaking down on Deion Sanders. If you're just not joining, fam, that's who you see on the screen right there. That's Jason Whitlock, Deion Sanders' #1 hater. I don't even understand how you can hate on a man that is so positive. I don't even understand how you can hate on him. Like, that just goes to show you what type of person you are. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, it's sports and you as an analyst or blogger, you have the right to critique and criticize these personalities and blah blah blah. Now this dude is obsessed with Deion Sanders. This ain't no honest criticism. This ain't no. Uh, this is not sports talk. This is the type of stuff that get your ass whooped if you wasn't behind a computer, hiding behind a computer, because he knows that Deion would knock his head off in real life. And then when you start talking about putting hands on him, the first thing is, see that you can't have a conversation without talking about violence, without resorting to violence. It just shows you how ignorant you are. Now, sucker, you ain't getting to play both sides. You don't get to play both sides of the fence like that. That should be some consequences for these dudes, that these reckless mouths out here. That should be consequences. But anyway, I'm gonna take Jason Whitlock off the screen right now, fam, and get back to the homie Deion. But that dude right there that you see on the screen right now, Jason Whitlock, that dude right there, that's Deion Sanders' number one enemy. And he's probably still talking down on Deion right now. He's probably glad that Deion was diagnosed with cancer, but he's probably sad that he missed it, that he beat it. That's cold, ain't it? Cold game. Prime said that his life has changed significantly since the operation. He told media members he lost 25 pounds and said his bathroom habits have been anything but normal. He said, I can't pee like I used to. Deion was in great spirits throughout the presser, cracking numerous jokes while insisting he's on the mend. He also implored men everywhere, this is big, fam, to make sure they get checked out regularly before he thanked God. Deion became the Buffs head coach 2 years ago. First, he first told the public he was having health issues while on a podcast with Asante Samuels back in the spring. He said to the former NFL cornerback, what I'm dealing with right now is at a whole nother level. He never got into specific details about the ailment, but was forced to miss some CU football camps in June to get a handle on everything. During an appearance at Big 12 Media Day earlier this month, he assured his fans everything was okay. The former Dallas Cowboys superstar has dealt with more than his share of medical problems over the past few years, including in 2022 and 2023, when he had operations on his leg and foot that resulted in an amputation of 2 toes. Deion said, "Hey, I'm built for this, man. I already lost 2 toes. I'm built for this." And I believe him. He's a solid dude, strong dude, solid dude, real positive. And being positive, I don't care what you're going through, fam. Being positive is like half the battle. How you think, whatever it is you're going through, and all of us are going through something. Whatever it is you're going through, your mindset is half the battle. The way you process it is half the battle. If you're in a relationship and you broke up If you were in a relationship and you broke up and you say to yourself, oh, that goes my world. If you put your whole identity into another person, if you allow another person to be responsible for your happiness, then you're probably going to process a breakup a lot differently than an average person would, and you probably are going to do it in a totally destructive manner. Because if somebody can give you happiness, they can take it away. So you never want to put yourself in a position where you are looking for someone else to make you happy. Happiness must come from within. Sustainable happiness comes from within. You never, ever, ever want to give someone that type of power. I don't care how much you like them. I don't care how big that booty is, how slim that waist is, how pretty that face is. Ladies, I don't care how handsome he look and the size of his biceps or his, all that stuff y'all like, that don't, how much money he got, none of that matters. You never, ever, ever want to put yourself in a position where you count on another human being to make you happy. If you make yourself happy, if you do things to make yourself happy, that's something that you can control. Like, you can control if you want to be happy or not. It's all about how you see things. They often say life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to that, right? So you can actually control your happiness. I'm going to share a life hack with y'all right quick, fam. I'm going to share a life hack with y'all. Every single day, no matter what I go through, I find reasons to smile. I find reasons to be happy. A big part of happiness is completing goals, right? Some of us have small goals, we have medium goals, and we have these lofty goals, right? So the loftier goals typically take longer to materialize. So in the interim, from the inception of the goal to achieving the goal, to reaching the goal, in the interim, I have to find other things to be excited and be motivated about and happy about. I have to have other goals, small goals. So I have a lot of small goals. And my small goals are as small as, completing a certain amount of videos on a daily basis, right? Or making a minimum of X amount of dollars on a trade, right? Or it could simply be getting to the store before it closes, or making a light. I'm trying to get through this traffic light without getting stopped, without having to stop. So I'll make it through a traffic light and I'll be like, yeah, I do stuff like that. Get to the store before it closes, another goal achieved. Clear out something in my closet or something on the countertops that's That's oh, hey, I got to get rid of it. It's clean that countertop off. Boom, another go. I take out my own trash. So when I take out the trash, get that trash out there before the trash man come. Boom, another goal. See, small goals. A lot of little small goals. I drank my water today. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I had, I don't know, uh, let's say I drank a half a gallon of water today. Minimum, that's what I try to do, about a half a gallon. So I drank a half a gallon of water. That's another goal. Took my vitamins. That's another goal. You know, took a walk. You know, got the muscles, got a chance to stretch the muscles. You know what I'm saying? Get that blood pumping. Through the veins properly. That's another goal. Simple stuff. But if you just put everything on that big lofty goal, you'll wake up every day thinking that you ain't making no progress in life. Forgetting that you're actually getting closer to the goal because you are putting the work in. Man, you'll mess around and miss so many happy days. You'll mess around and miss so many blessings. Okay, let's say you lose a backstabbing friend. A friend backstab you. That's somebody you was counting on. You thought that was a good friend. Okay, this sucker backstabbed me. Woo, woo. But you know what? I still got two other friends over here, or three other friends, or one friend that I can count on. So I'm still blessed. You see? See what I'm talking about? I want to make $100,000 this year. I'm trying to get to 100,000, but I didn't make 100,000. But I am at 50,000. I'm already doing better than most people. So that's something to be thankful for. As I still go toward my goal, as I still work towards my goal, I got something to be thankful for. So it's little things, fam. It's a lot of little things that that's responsible for happiness that we overlook because we be focused on the big stuff. We always focusing on the big stuff. What's up, China Carter? So, shouts out to Deion Sanders. Prayers going up, homie. That don't mean that I'm gonna look at that and just discard him because I'm gonna look at the totality of the man, not just one act or two acts or three acts. I'm gonna look at the totality of his character. Who was that? Lola, what's up? DJ Zandan, Dr. Rich Dog, Pamela Harris, Anita Martinez. What's up, Anita? Rochester, New York. Yeah, what's up, Travis Allen? So yeah, fam, it's always something to be thankful for. Think about it, fam. Watch this. I'm finna hit y'all with something. You ever been in a situation where you thought you wasn't doing enough in life and you was working towards something, you just it ain't working out. You just ain't getting there fast enough. You ain't happy about it. You're not happy about your life. You're not happy about the situation. Well, there's always somebody who are looking at you saying, man, if I had her life, if I had his life, I'd be all right. Now I know that's hard to think because you're saying to yourself, man, I don't want this life. But think about it. Let's say, let's say you are poor. You think you dirt poor. You are poor, but you're United States of America poor. You're not Rwandan poor. You're not Rwanda poor. You're United States of America poor, which means that you can still get a meal. It may not be what you want, but you can still get a meal. That meal might just be some beans and rice, but at the very least, you can eat some beans and rice. You can afford to buy some beans and rice. You got a house, and rent is, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say I'm gonna use a very a low ball type number. Okay, so let's say the rent is $800. It ain't gonna be in. Let's say the rent is $800. Perhaps you know uh, the rent is $800, and you're struggling to pay the rent. There's somebody who is living in a room with somebody. They're sharing a house. They're renting out a room. They can't afford a house. That's all they can afford is a room. They switch places with you in a heartbeat. There's somebody out there who is missing a limb, and they're absolutely like they're in a lot of they're distraught by what they have to go through. There's another person that's looking at that same person that missing that one limb, and they got two limbs missing, and they're saying, "Should I trade places with him? I trade places with her." That's always the point. Is there's always somebody doing worse than what you're doing, and there's always somebody would be willing to take your place. No matter what it is you're going through, if you're breathing, you got action. As long as you ain't dead, it's somebody that would be willing to take your place. You got some people who are who have to go back and forth to the doctor all the time. They got some illness that they have to deal with, and it's very inconvenient. They got to deal with that, and they got to go to the doctor all the time, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But they're gonna live, but they just have to deal with this. They have to deal with this disease that they have or whatever. But they're gonna live. There's another person who's been given 6 months or 3 months to live or 2 years to live. They trade places with you in a heartbeat. There's always somebody that will trade places with you. You got people who are on dialysis who have had multiple toes and fingers cut off. Some of them have had their foot chopped off, arms chopped off. And then you got the person that's on dialysis that's going to back and forth to dialysis. They got all their limbs, and they got a kidney on the way. That person with them limbs still getting chopped off and don't know when the next one gonna get chopped off. They'll trade places in a heartbeat. So that's how I have to do, fam. Sometime when I ain't, as much as I've been blessed, I ain't never satisfied, so I'm always trying to get more. I'm trying to do more. And sometimes when it ain't happening fast enough, I get a little discouraged. Don't last long because it'll kick in and I'll be like, you know what? There's a few people out there that would love to trade places with me. So I got to keep that in mind when I started feeling discouraged. A few more shout outs before I get up out of here. Monica Green, what up? China Carter is in the building. Eye to eye. What up? Daniel Houston. This press conference was unnecessary. Leave it to Deion Sanders to make it about himself. Deion Sanders is a cultural icon, right? I think people want to know. That's why we're talking about it right now. That's why people are commenting about it right now. So maybe he just don't do it for you, Daniel. But Deion Sanders have millions, not a few 100,000, but millions of people who care about his welfare, his well-being. So, and on top of that, he is a college coach for a team that has been well watched. And so people want to know why he was absent. So, yes, the press conference was about him and it needed to be about him. And that's all it should have been about is him, because he is the one that's going through a traumatic experience right now. He is the one who is trying to keep cancer at bay right now. He's the one who has been missing practices because of his cancer diagnosis. Boy, this internet, it's something else. That's my time, fam. That's my time. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.